Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by Teddy Bear 2 himself, Nick Steblenko.
Donald, it's actually a nice day. We've had some interesting weather here. I know it's August. It's supposed to be warm, but today we've been blessed with some merry weather.
And by the time that this show airs, it will be disgusting and raining, and people will be like, what is wrong with you, Nick Steblenko?
You didn't even pick up on my first one. That's awesome.
No.
Maybe you're not Sharpton today.
Ah, you punned me, didn't you? I didn't even hear it. What'd you say?
Nope, you didn't.
What did he say? Well, Jason
We're having some Merryweather.
Hold on.
Some Brandon Merryweather.
I didn't hear you say that. Jason doesn't know what a pun is, so that's a problem. He can't really pick up on it. Jason Gringer's here again because Zach's dead? I don't really know. Where is Zach? Is he alive?
I thought he was parasailing in France.
I said that. That doesn't mean he's doing it 2 days in a row. You got to liven up.
So he parasailed his way down the coast into Spain, and now he's scaling the cliffs
and
on the seaside.
Over the weekend, he'll be in Portugal sampling some nice Portuguese wine.
Yes, he's at a vineyard there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. He was actually outside of our window when we were recording yesterday. I don't know why. I'm not sure how that happened. He distracted us quite a bit.
Pretty creepy and got us to say loins.
Well, I hope he gathers himself.
I hate you.
Batten down the hatcher, Jonold. It's time to rock. We're on to the Redskins.
See, nobody even knows these guys that he's making the puns about. That's the problem, I think.
You don't know Clifton Gathers?
No.
No,
you don't know Jason Hatcher?
No.
Or Brandon Merriweather?
No.
Well, you know Brandon Merriweather. Stop that. All right, as you can tell by the ridiculous amount of puns that Nick just had, he does research every day for the show.
Sure do.
But 90 minutes of his research is dedicated to finding funny puns.
Call me Action Jackson, baby.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
You stop that. Is that the last one?
Do you know Deshaun Jackson? Are you okay with that one?
The guy that throws up gang signs at the Washington Redskins?
But is not affiliated with a gang in any way.
Is he the guy that just drops the ball before he goes in the end zone?
Yes, he is. That is him.
As opposed to, I get to do it again. Thank you for the segue. As opposed to the guy who just drops the ball in general, Emmanuel Sanders. That guy? I have to throw it in every show because the guy just has no.
Well, especially after he bashed your boy. I would feel the same way. I can't believe what he said about Roethlisberger.
To be fair,
there's no fairness.
I've been bashing him before he said those comments because he does drop the ball. There's a reason the Steelers just said, nah, go ahead. Get out of here.
Yeah, but he has no place to say anything about Ben Roethlisberger, who, hey, Emmanuel, Ben's actually won a Super Bowl.
Whoa, hold on. 2.
Yeah,
2.
What? Yeah, well.
He has 2.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
The first one, okay. We really got to go over this. The first one, Ben had no hand in winning that game because he was atrocious against Seattle. That's fine. But he did get them there. So, yeah.
He almost had 3, but he doesn't.
Yes, thank you, Green Bay fanboy. We get it. That was actually really good.
Can we just get through the weekend
that was a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was a great Super Bowl.
I was very depressed, but that was fun to watch.
All right. Monday's the Packers?
Huh? Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Monday on the Star Fantasy League show. I'm not going to say tomorrow. I always say tomorrow because I apparently don't know what Friday is.
I plan on being decked out. I don't understand why nobody wore their gear when it was time to talk about their team. I have
Jason his team hasn't gone yet.
Mine's probably last.
No, I'm sure he'll wear something. I'm
going to make sure he's not on the show.
I will probably spit all over his jersey.
Wow, that is highly inappropriate.
I am not okay with your Niners, man.
Tear
not
my
okay with them.
Colin Kaepernick fat head off the wall and bring it in.
Bring it in here.
That's weird.
And just wear it.
That's really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you're gonna wear him on your skin.
I'll stick it to my whole body.
What is it of him kissing his bicep?
Probably.
No,
he's really cool.
All right, before we get to the that Washington Redskins team, like we said, we have the Green Bay Packers, Nick's Green Bay Packers, to look forward to on Monday's show.
Titletown.
We have to talk about a certain football game that actually happened last night. Jaguars-Bears happened. The big story, obviously, is that quarterback guy that apparently won't play.
I can't believe that he's not going to play. He looked good last night.
We're obviously talking about Jay Cutler, right? No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about Blake Bortles, the guy that they picked in the top 5 in the draft.
Number 3.
I know. Yeah, everyone. It's top 5.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but apparently he's not going to play according to Jacksonville. But if you watched him last night, he seems to be okay. Although
he was dropping dimes.
Let's
on
be
some
fair.
Of those throws.
Let's be fair. What defense were they going up against?
Oh, come on, though.
One of the worst secondaries in the NFL, bar none.
For a rookie to come in and show the confidence that he did, he could make throws. Okay, obviously, once you get him into a real game situation, I don't think we're going to expect him to do that. But at the same time, get out there, get your knees dirty, or get your nose dirty. What the heck am I talking about?
Get your knees dirty.
Get your knees dirty.
Take some sacks out there.
Yeah,
Get your knees
take
dirty.
some sacks. Get your nose dirty, learn the game, and actually grow with the team. Marquise Lee looked good. You know, they had some receivers that are out, obviously, Cecil Shorts and Allen Robinson.
Say Allen Hearns'
Allen
name.
Hearns isn't going to play.
He looked great.
Good, that's great. So maybe he can grow with the team.
He
maybe
might make
he'll get
the team
a roster
now.
spot.
Yeah, he might make the team.
So, but how are you going to tell me, yeah, Chad Henne looked okay, but are they really trying to win this season?
No.
Okay, they're not going to win.
Wait, what do you mean trying? This team doesn't have the ability to
They
try.
may win 3 games.
Well, Gus Bradley there, he fires them up. He gets them going for preseason.
Their defense actually early on in that game looked pretty good. I think the offense had 25 of the first 28 plays because they just destroyed special teams, getting fumbles, offense getting fumbles. They were
yeah, but then Cutler did look really good. I mean, he did play a pretty solid game.
That offense is. We haven't gotten to them yet. I think we're going to get to them probably about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. But that offense is really dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to talk about them.
Okay, again, fine. You are a Green Bay Packer fan. I hated on the Cleveland Brown Ravens, so that happened.
Cleveland Ravens, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just think it's silly that they're not going to play Blake Bortles. I think eventually he will play. Yeah. I really think they're going to renege on that. I really don't think there's any way they can keep the fans quiet. They want to see him.
Once they lose like 4 out of their first 5 games, he's going to be starting.
There's no way. I mean, it's the same situation with Manziel. The same one, because the fans will impact the team's decision.
Let's talk about that really quickly. This is something that apparently conspiracy theories were talked about last night. The number 1 announcing team for CBS is heading to Pittsburgh for Week 1 for that Pittsburgh-Cleveland game, which will be televised. They think it's because Johnny Manziel has already been guaranteed the starting spot for Week 1. That's why Phil Simms and Jim Nantz are going there.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hoyer got the start. He's getting the start next preseason
game.
Right?
But Pettin actually said that it does not matter. It doesn't matter who starts; they're going to get equal reps.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. They're not starting Manziel to at least get some reps with the first team in an actual game situation. That's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, that's true.
But
all right, you know what? Since the name Johnny Football was brought up, apparently Jason just loves talking about Johnny Manziel. So we're going to move on to the 2014-15 Washington Redskins. We've mentioned it a million times in the past week when we've been discussing the NFC East, that these teams are interchangeable. Pretty much you could see any of these teams going in any spot in this division.
Although surprisingly, Washington was 3-13 last year.
Yes, they were 3-13, and for some reason, RG3's stats looked okay, despite the fact that most of those stats were like fourth quarter comeback, just bombing the ball.
You know, if Zach was here, he would actually probably be touting RG3. I think he likes him a lot.
He does.
Yeah, I don't. No. I really don't.
I looked into this. Most of his stats are garbage time stats, and this is not. I don't think this is going to happen this year where they're going to be behind by this much in every game.
You know, they got
killed.
There were actually reports out there that said Kirk Cousins looks better in Jay Gruden's offense than RG3 does.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
And they're not just the Washington reporters.
Yeah, let's talk about the key additions because this is like the 4th team I've talked about. One of the biggest additions is the new coach, Jay Gruden, coming over from Cincinnati. He sort of made Andy Dalton look pretty damn good in that offense.
He certainly did.
The question is, what's he going to do with a quarterback who doesn't like to throw the ball as much?
It is going to be interesting. They do add Deshaun Jackson, so I think that gives them a whole new dynamic. And then Pierre Garçon is a great receiver.
Well, let's be honest. Pierre Garçon, a lot of his production last season was because, could you name their second receiver last year? Exactly. It was Leonard Hankerson. That's embarrassing. And Santana Moss, but he was basically a corpse last year.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I love Santana Moss, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, if your second guy is Santana Moss in his 10th year, that's not a good sign for your team. Hankerson went down with an ACL injury towards the end of the year. Jordan Reed only played 9 games for this team.
Well, if he plays 16 games, this team's going to have a big weapon that people aren't going to see coming.
And if Jackson's healthy, he's going to take a lot of attention away from both of those guys.
Yeah.
So
But again, I see RG3, and I'm sorry, I have to knock on Kaepernick for a second too, because these guys.
You have to go out of your way
These
to do
guys,
it.
hang on. These guys are very good at running the ball. They really are. Right. But in the passing game, I see them. They drop back. They look at their first look, or maybe they do their read play where they fake the handoff and then they drop back. They look at their first look, and that's it. They really don't go through the progressions like some of the better quarterbacks in the league. You see Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. These guys are the elite quarterbacks because they can have 5 receivers on the field, know where every single one of them is, know what route they're running, and know where they're going to be open. And I just don't see that ever being a possibility with him.
All right, let's get to the first offseason question because it has to do with what you're discussing. Biggest offseason question is, will RG3 be able to play a full injury-free season in 2014? They said that they rushed him back last season, which, again, makes absolutely no sense. They weren't expected to win right away. I mean, what's the point of rushing your franchise quarterback back? Just miss an extra 3 or 4 games. It's not going to kill you.
I don't think there's any chance he plays all 16.
No?
He hasn't proven that he can. So
well,
until he
only
does,
2 years.
Right, but still.
He's always had knee problems.
Yep.
Did he have the same knee problems in college?
In college,
I
yeah.
think
He was a guy who didn't really play
not
all the
good.
games?
It's not good. It really isn't. And I would have to agree. I don't think he does play a full 16 games. Yeah. I don't. And I think you're going to see Kirk Cousins. I really think we're going to see Kirk Cousins, and people are going to be saying, well, I don't know. Maybe he's the guy.
Yeah, Griffin's also pretty reckless back there.
Yeah,
that's an understatement. He does not. I mean, okay, him and Kaepernick are built differently, but Kaepernick at least knows when to get out of bounds, even though he is bigger than most safeties.
Yep.
But RG3 will run directly at a linebacker and go, "Yeah, I could take this." It's not smart.
No, it's not. The confidence. Okay, sure, it's always good to be confident, but you're right. You're not going to go up against a linebacker in this league and win. Yeah. You're just not. And with the brittle knees that he has at this point. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't see him lasting. And can they turn him into a pocket passer so that he can avoid that stuff? I don't know. I mean, yeah, Gruden did a great job with Andy Dalton. I don't see it happening with his skill set.
Yeah, Jay Gruden's certainly going to get a chance to try to make RG3 a pocket passer. Maybe if he doesn't take to it, you do see Kirk Cousins come in.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. I mean, I know a lot of people would be. I would not be surprised to see Kirk Cousins halfway through the season.
Yeah, and we got to look at the offensive line, too. They're not that great.
Nope.
So protecting Griffin is also going to be one of their key priorities, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it done.
Yeah, key priority that, I don't know that they address really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. They didn't really address what you needed to. Go ahead, RG3. Get sacked 38 more times in 13 games. That's not good.
No,
that's
bad.
really bad. That's Eli Manning numbers right there. All right, coming after the break, we're breaking down more of the 2014-15 Washington Redskins and some fantasy implications. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
We are back, and we are still talking about the 2014-15 Washington Redskins of Washington, who probably will not have that name anymore.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know about that. I mean,
yeah, that
Snyder's digging.
Yeah,
his
that
heels
owner
in.
guy that we probably shouldn't mention his name because he just seems to be a giant jerk. That he's a jerk.
He keeps trying to make the argument that
it's a good
that it's a good thing that it's honoring the. But
well,
I don't know. You know what? At the same time, I do have to take this stance. I am white. I am a white male in America. I am not a Native American. I don't know. I really don't. I've never talked to somebody in a Native American tribe about this. I do have a friend who is a Mohawk. I've never actually asked him about this. So I don't really know.
That means you're not a true American if you don't have any say in it and you don't speak your opinion anyways. That's what most Americans do, right? They don't know what the actual situation is, but they will speak their opinion unintelligently.
Yeah, very true.
Speaking of that, we are on the Star Fantasy League show today, talking fantasy football. Oh, wait, no, we actually do know what we're talking about.
We like to try.
Yeah, that
I
is
guess
true.
Redskins is kind of a racial slur. It's not like Blackhawks, which is a name of a tribe. So, in hockey, what if the Blackhawks had to change their name? I would be very upset.
Well, yeah, I know. I would be too.
You'd be okay? Well, how do we
Why?
talk?
This isn't going to happen.
How
That's
do we
not
bring?
gonna happen.
How do we bring hockey talk into this? Stop it.
Well,
Hockey
it's an
rules.
Indian tribe.
Hockey's
kind of
awesome.
All right, before the break, we were talking
had
a
to
lot
bring
about RG3 and his brittle bones and stupid decisions, and just we think Kirk Cousins is actually going to play this season. Oh, sorry, Nick and I think Kirk Cousins will play this season.
I would concur.
Yeah? Okay, so we're going to get some Kirk
That's
Cousins.
what I'm saying. If Zach was here, he would definitely be throwing a fit.
But yeah, let's talk about this offensive line because I'm curious. They grabbed some guys that I don't really think have that great a name value, and they were really bad on the line last year. They drafted a couple guys in the first round, in the first couple rounds in Morgan Moses and Spencer Long, who are probably going to project to be backups for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much stock you put in this. During the break, we looked this up, and I do like to use Pro Football Focus. They do actually do a pretty good job of grading. I know a little
plug.
on there.
They're paying. They're not.
They did grade out as the 5th offensive line in the league. Now, I don't know how much stock you put in that.
I would love to know how that's possible, considering how bad they were and how little they did to upgrade this line.
So how do you define how they were bad? You know, I mean, I know, and trust me, I agree. I think that is a root of their problems, but maybe it was a scheme.
Well, okay, they were good.
Know.
They were good rush block.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
They were 5th in rushing last year in the NFL, so...
But, you know, we all know the Shanahans, they are very good with their zone run blocking scheme. Yep. That's what made Alfred Morris the tank that he was. And now we have a different scheme coming up. I don't know.
Yeah, they're saying they're going to be expecting their backs to catch a lot more passes this year, so Morris is not going to be getting as many reps.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what because I've been passing up on Alfred Morris quite a bit because he doesn't do it for me, especially in a PPR league. I think he caught 9 balls last season. Yeah, nine catches in 16 games. That's bad. Roy Halou, on the other hand, caught, I believe, 31.
Yeah, but and that's in a scheme where it was a very run-heavy scheme.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's due for possibly even double that production. I think you could see 60 catches out of him this year.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a timeshare, I think.
Yeah.
Back there, and I wouldn't really want to draft either of these guys. I'd more of a wait-and-see approach. If you can get Halou really late.
I would take a flyer on Halou late.
Yeah, Halou's going last round in drafts right now from what I've been seeing. Some drafts I've been looking at some mocks. He's not even going at all. So if you can pick him up right at the end and you don't have a 5th running back, maybe he's a guy you can plug in there for a flex spot.
Could be.
All right, so let's talk about what this team did on the defense because their defense was pretty bad last year. 18th overall, 20th against the pass, 17th against the rush, 3rd in takeaways, but their plus-minus was garbage, which means RG3, that's your fault.
Well, and they got scored. They 30th in points against.
Yeah,
that's huge. You know, no matter how many yards you give up,
it was short field. It was short field because of all the turnovers is why they had so many points put against them.
You know, anytime you're giving up that many points, you're putting yourself in a hole. And, you know, we already talked about this. I don't really think that their passing attack is going to be that great when you have Robert Griffin III on. I really just don't. I think he's an overrated quarterback right now.
Well, on the defensive side, they have a good pass rush, but their secondary is just awful.
Well, they added 3 names. They did the opposite again of what these really good defenses like Baltimore and Pittsburgh do. They grabbed names. They went for name value. They grabbed Tracy Porter, who after the Super Bowl moment, the biggest moment of his entire life, he hasn't really done anything. He's been he went to Oakland and was pretty much just thrown away there.
Yeah, he's projecting as a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Ryan Clark, who the Steelers just kind of let go because he was too old. They basically kept Ike Taylor instead. And Brandon Merriweather. So these are names who people will go, oh, okay, cool, but I think they're all too old.
I don't think Clark and Merriweather are that bad, and I mean I think they could have done
Clark
worse.
was not good last season for the Steelers.
Sure, but they gave, like you said though, they gave way there because he was getting older and they got a better fit in Mike Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I don't think it's that bad. I don't. I mean it's not great by any means, but
It's decent upgrades, I guess, slight upgrades.
Well, compared to what they had last year,
Right.
yeah, anything's an upgrade. That team the secondary is pretty bad.
They still have D'Angelo Hall there on the corner.
39 years old. How old is he? Seriously, he's probably in his late 30s.
Regardless of how old he is, at what point is he going to get suspended? I mean, seriously.
For just trying to punch somebody in the face?
For trying to break his hand on somebody's helmet.
Yeah, he's basically
Which I never understood.
He's the old version of
guy.
Cortland Finnegan because Cortland Finnegan tries to punch people in the face every single game.
Actually, did you guys watch Hard Knocks this week?
No.
Yeah, they were talking about that. One of the Falcons' rookies, Rashid Hageman, he punched some guy in the helmet, and Mike Smith is just like, why would you punch somebody in the helmet? Why would you do that? You are going to lose that battle.
That is pretty dumb, I'm not going to lie. All right, so we talked a little bit about the defense. It's probably going to be a little bit improved, but if the turnovers continue, the defense can't do it. you can't be in a hole like that where you're giving up short field like 2 times a game.
Well,
it's just,
I think
it's not good.
I think one of the bigger questions, and we got to pay a little bit of respect to London Fletcher. He retired. I want to see what the inside linebacker core is going to look like. He was no matter how old he was always an impact player. He always led the defense. He was always good for that team. So I'm really curious to see how those guys are going to be in replacement.
Yeah. I honestly don't know.
No,
I don't know what this Washington team is going to do.
I don't think we're going to know until we see it in action.
Well, as long as I don't know, can they improve on 30 points against a game?
Probably.
That's
hopefully
important.
Yeah, that's a really bad number. Again, that's why RG3's stats are so inflated because when you're giving up 30 points a game, you're going to assume that you're behind by a couple touchdowns every game.
I mean, that's another reason why he gets injured so much is he's just back there having to, be a gunslinger and try and pass all the time.
Yep.
And that's not really his game. That's a problem.
No.
All right. The good thing is we have some interesting games to look forward to for the Redskins. They are playing the NFC West along with obviously the NFC East, playing the AFC South as well. That's pretty good for them. But there are 2 games that are, in addition to all these other games that are locked in, are Minnesota and Tampa Bay. I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Those are two very winnable games for Washington.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a better record than the Cowboys and Giants this year.
Well, you picked them both to win 5 games.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're probably going to be like 7-9.
Yeah, it's kind of where that's exactly
like
where Vegas has them at 7-9.
Yeah,
So really the NFC East, we're just talking about them being a bunch of chuds again.
Except for Philadelphia.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like
Philadelphia
Philly.
is probably 9 wins.
Maybe
10 wins.
I like that.
That's where they have them at. Vegas has them at 9 wins even.
These offenses aren't that horrible. I mean, I'm not really sold on Robert Griffin III in this offense. I do think that they're going to have some problems there, but I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys' offense is capable of winning some games. I think that obviously Philly's offense is capable of winning games. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do a little bit better than that.
Better than what?
Well, 5-12
or
Cowboys? 5-11.
Dallas?
Yeah. I don't know. This is all a toss-up. This whole division is a toss-up.
We've said it a billion times.
I
I could see anyone winning this division. I could honestly see RG3 figuring out how to keep his stupid ass in the pocket. Just stay in the pocket and throw. He has a great cast of characters around him.
He's got happy feet.
He needs to stop with
He's got a good arm, too.
That's true. He wouldn't be a top NFL quarterback if he didn't have a good arm.
He's got a really good arm. He can throw the deep ball very well.
Yeah, and he's going to have chances now with Deshaun Burner there. He does one thing well. He attracts attention. Guess what? Run down the field. Oh, your slot receiver's wide open, Andre Roberts. Congratulations. There you go. Yep. He's gonna have opportunities to have wide open receivers this season.
Yeah, if he just.
This is the best.
It depends on the offense.
This is the best offense he's worked with in his 3 years by far.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
All right, so let's talk about the second biggest question. I mentioned Deshaun Jackson really quickly. How will Deshaun Jackson fit in Washington, and what will his role be? Is he just a distraction on the team, or is he going to be? I mean, obviously, they're not going to give him the number 1 wideout position. That belongs to Pierre Garçon.
You could see a 1A, 1B type of situation. Yeah, I think Garçon is definitely better.
He's going to line up as the number 1
Of
receiver.
course, sure. But, I mean, what does that mean? That means something to us, but what does that mean on the field? Because on the field, you are a player in the X spot or you're a player in the Z spot.
I'm meaning that I determine he's going to get the number 1 corner from opposing defenses.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Right?
Sure. Yeah,
unless it's a thing about speed and you have a guy who's just really fast cornerback and just put him on Deshaun Jackson.
But that's what I'm getting. I think that there are matchup implications across the board with these guys. Pierre Garçon, I think, is a superior route runner. The guy is very good. He will garner a ton of targets. And, I mean, 113 receptions last year. A lot of those come in the short passing game. He does get a lot of screens. They put him in space, bubble screens, stuff like that. I don't know. I think that Deshaun Jackson is a very nice complement to the game that Pierre Garçon has.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a very nice contrast. I mean, you got the speed on the outside with Jackson. You got Garçon coming across the middle. You got the shorter routes for Garçon. And he's, as I said before, he's going to draw the attention away from Garçon and Reed, so defense has to pay a lot more attention to the guys on the outside.
If Reed can stay healthy for 16 games, I think the 3 of them,
yeah.
Oh my God, that is a great setup for them.
Let's not forget I'm curious what you guys think about this third receiver position, because I think there could be some yards to go around on this team because it's going to be a high-powered offense, I feel. The third spot's going to come down to Andre Roberts, who they brought in, who I actually liked last season a lot. Santana Moss, who's 95 years old. Leonard Hankerson's coming off of an ACL injury, so that's not going to work. And they drafted Ryan Grant in the 5th round out of Tulane. So any of these guys you think are going to make any kind of waves on this team?
I think the third receiver position is going to be irrelevant. I really do. And I know, Andre Roberts showed flashes of being decent.
I don't understand. Why didn't Arizona keep him?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Why not? He was He came on towards the end of the season with Palmer.
He probably got a much better offer from Washington. They probably threw a lot more money at him. But I do like Roberts as well. It depends on what they're going to do with the running backs catching a lot of passes as well. So he's not probably going to see a ton of balls, but I think he'll win the third wide receiver spot.
Yeah, he got a 4-year, $16 million contract, so that you can't turn that down as nice. I don't even know about a third receiver.
No,
I think that position's irrelevant. You have two amazing threats on the outside, and you have Jordan Reed who can stretch the middle of the field.
Peyton Manning has proven three wide receivers and a tight end getting all the production in the world is possible.
Yeah, it is
possible.
Not with Griffin.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe Kirk Cousins will make one of these guys look good. All right, coming after the break, we're continuing this and talking some baseball, and you'll listen to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Zach, and Nick. Only on The Team.
You, sir, are wrong. We are here on the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Nick, and Jason Gringer.
We tried to give him a heads up yesterday, but he
doesn't care.
He doesn't listen.
He just doesn't care. He's sitting in his cage, not caring at all in the world, and we're not caring because today we're talking about the Washington Redskins, and apparently Nick doesn't like RG3.
I don't
either. It's fine.
You know what? It is what it is.
All right, so let's.
Just not good.
Before the break, we were talking about the team in general, but since this is the Star Fantasy League show, there's a certain word in there that's important, right? Star.
Leagues?
Oh, good. You went leagues, I went star. The actual word is fantasy. StarFantasyLeagues.com is where you play daily, and what's that other thing we play on the site?
Season long.
Oh, that's right. We just unveiled a season-long platform, the first daily fantasy sports site to offer both daily and season-long contests ready to go for this season.
I mean, it's all-encompassing, too, because we have the mock drafts, too. I love the mock drafts.
That is very true. If you're a little skeptical about how it works, all you have to do is click on the lobby, click on season, then mock. There's mock drafts starting every 10 minutes. If you join by yourself, you're the only one in there. We put a bunch of bots in there. They draft their teams, and you draft yours.
And maybe you'll see one of us in there.
That's true. We've been doing it. SFL Jason, SFL Jonathan, SFL Nick. Sitting in there.
Getting some really good feedback from the people.
Yeah, if you guys have suggestions, things you don't like, things you want changed, we are open to it. We're doing this as we go. It's made by players for the players. We love playing fantasy, so that's the best way to build a system.
Absolutely.
And I believe there's a large bonus that we can give to you. Free 14, FREE14 is the bonus code, 100% to $2,000 bonus, and a free $11 credit directly into your account no matter how much you deposit.
So $4,000?
No, you don't know how bonuses work.
I don't know how bonuses work. Can you tell me how bonuses work?
God, no.
Why not?
If you deposit $2,000, you get a $2,000 bonus that goes into your bonus account, and you earn it slowly as you play.
Oh,
so you don't just get two. We don't just give you two. Okay, stop it. I can't deal with you.
John, the people need to know this. They need to understand it.
Eventually, if you play enough games,
you will
see the whole 2,000.
That is true.
Yes.
But you don't get 2,000 right away. That's not how that works.
Okay.
It's not instant cash. All right, let's talk about.
I have my money?
Yeah, let's talk about the season-long fantasy implications of the Washington Redskins. Let's go with QB of the Washington Redskins, RG3. I was going to say QB3. I was like,
QB number 10?
No, I was going to say QB3. I was like, that's not his nickname.
Yeah. So he's the 8th quarterback coming off the board in the late 7th round.
Hate him.
Yeah, I just don't I just don't. I mean, you know what? Honestly, for the numbers that he put up last year, that's actually a really good place to draft him.
Yes.
But you also run the risk of him being injured. There are quarterbacks out there with higher ceilings, in my opinion. He does have a lot of weapons, so I could be eating my words in a year, but I really just personally don't like him. I don't think he's worth the risk.
Yeah, if you've missed out on a quarterback and like the top 6 or 7 are gone, he's still there in like the 9th round or something. It's not a bad option, but I think you need to definitely get another quarterback right after that probably.
Phil Rivers.
I'm waiting. Like in that area, you're also looking at Kaepernick is there. possibly Cam Newton. I have seen him slide.
Yeah,
you're looking at Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Tony Romo. There's so many options there, and I think there are more reliable options.
Yeah, I've been seeing RG3 go much further ahead of Kaepernick and Newton.
Yeah.
In most of the drafts I've been
just
doing.
don't think
That's insanity.
I just don't think that's. I think that.
Cam,
I think all of those guys should
And
be
even
sliding a lot further.
he's been going ahead of Andrew Luck, which is very surprising.
That's
nuts.
not
right. Yeah,
that's
not right.
nuts. Cam Newton can get you more points on the ground than RG3 can get you probably the whole season.
Yeah, I'm not going to say stay away altogether, but
The right time.
I think that he is being drafted too high.
All right, speaking of drafted too high, what about Alfred Morris? RB14, 30th overall in round 3. We talked about Roy Halou getting a lot more opportunities on this team. I'm scared to death of Alfred
I don't think
Morris.
he's going to take that much away from him.
If they're going to a
Alfred Morris
pass-heavy
is still,
game?
No, it's not going to be pass-heavy.
They said they want their running backs to catch like Gio Bernard in Cincinnati.
But they're still going to run the ball, and Alfred Morris is still going to be the first and second down guy and short yardage. He's going to get all the goal line carries. I think if you're getting him in the 3rd round, I think it's well worth it. I really do. I don't think you should expect 1,600 yards and 14 touchdowns or whatever he had in his rookie season, but I do think he's still worth it. You could do a heck of a lot worse in the 3rd round as your second running back.
I'm just staying away completely from him, basically.
Yeah, I'm the 9 in
think of it this
PPR.
way,
The
though.
9 catches thing just throws me off.
Think of it this way, though. You're in a snake draft. You have a pick somewhere in the middle. You're getting screwed all over the place because guys are taking your picks way too early. You got to reach on guys. You are the 6th pick in the 3rd round, and Alfred Morris is sitting there. You really wouldn't take him.
I mean, it depends how my team
Because then
looks.
on the way back, you're looking at maybe Bishop Sankey.
It depends. Okay, if I don't go running back, maybe I consider somebody like that, or I just wait a couple rounds and grab somebody like Danny Woodhead and be happy with my life. I've been drafting him in every draft, 9th, 10th round. I love Danny Woodhead late.
Yeah.
Because if you're grabbing this, I don't want him as my RB2. I'd rather have Danny Woodhead as my flex / RB2 maybe guy.
I don't know. I think he could do a lot worse. I really do.
All right.
The guy has the opportunity to score 10 touchdowns.
That is true. Let's quickly talk about the rest of this team. Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon. One's in the 3rd. Garçon's in the 3rd. Deshaun Jackson's in the 5th. I love Garçon. I still love him.
Garçon is great. I think you're going to get a ton of catches, 100 catches again, and he definitely has the potential to put up some yardage.
Yeah, I think those are accurate.
Yeah.
I think both of them are.
I'd prefer to have Garçon in the 3rd than have to be stuck with Jackson in the 5th.
Yeah.
I've seen him. I passed up on him a couple times.
There's some guys in the 5th round that I like a little bit better. Yeah. And at that time, you can also start thinking about whether or not you want to take a tight end. I think I do like some of the guys. I love Jordan Reed. I think him in the 7th round is a godsend. Because if he plays a full 16 games, actually I wrote it down. If he played a full 16-game season last year, he would have had 80 catches, 800-something yards, and probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's a great year out of your tight end.
That's Jason Witten, right?
I was just going to say that's exactly
or
Jason
Jordan
Witten.
Cameron last year. Jordan Cameron was very similar.
That's Jason Witten who's going right in front of him. I believe he's tight end 6, right?
Yeah.
So I think
I would take Reed over Witten just for the upside.
Yeah, that's true.
Upside indeed, especially in the red zone, getting some touchdowns.
For sure.
Love it. All right, what about the rest of this team? Anybody interested in in a wide receiver 3 or Roy Halou at all?
No.
Well, we said if you can get Halou, like maybe last pick.
That's what he's going. 14th round, 156th overall pick.
It depends on who's there. I do like some other flyers. I mean, there are some out there like what's his name, Andre Holmes. He's been going late in the game. You could go possibly James White.
As far as like running backs go, I've been drafting Devontae Freeman a lot.
Yeah,
very late. I also like Carlos Hyde from San Francisco, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, interesting. And that's pretty much it. Although
That
I
is
like
the team.
Andre Roberts. Let's be honest.
So okay, here I have to throw this question out. If we are really that sold on the fact that RG3 is going to get hurt, do you draft Kirk Cousins?
No.
Ever?
No.
Never. Get him off the waiver wire.
Unless you're Tim Hasselbeck, and then apparently Kirk Cousins is like an 8th round pick. The guy is so clueless. I'm sorry. I watched him do a draft special. He thought that you could get Le'Veon Bell in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Berry crapped on him. It was really funny.
That is kind of funny.
It was really bad. He's like, oh, yeah, you could pick 4th and get Le'Veon Bell in the 3rd round.
Well, now I'm getting nervous about Le'Veon Bell.
In
Because
the
now
3rd
they're talking about LeGarrette Blount taking more than 6 touches away from him.
I love LeGarrette Blount.
No.
Love him.
No.
Love him.
Don't
All right.
touch my bell cow.
All right, we're done with the Washington Redskins. Tune in on Monday when we're talking about the Green Bay Packers. Not tomorrow. Monday. Monday. All right, we got to talk about some baseball today. Full slate on StarFantasyLeagues.com. You have just over an hour to set your lineups. We're going to give you the opportunity to make your best lineup on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We're talking about some Some pitchers off the top. Who are we looking at?
Garrett Richards, baby.
Oh, yeah,
He is
Garrett.
the matchup of the night.
He's the man.
I think everybody's going to have him in,
my
though.
boy.
But, yeah, he's going up against Texas. This is going to be juicy.
Man, Texas, how far the mighty have fallen?
Yeah, the last time Texas scored over 3 runs was 9 games ago. Where did they play in Texas?
That's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, when you play in one of the best hitters ballparks in the league and you can't manage to put up 3 runs, that's embarrassing.
They're 26 games back in the division. Ugh.
Well, I like seeing that, actually. But, yeah. I mean, he faced Texas on July 11th. He went 7 innings, only allowed 5 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts. So, yeah.
I think it could be better than that. I think it could. I mean, there's so many injuries and so many trashy players on this team.
Yeah, if I got that line, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Kluber tonight quite a bit against Baltimore. He's maybe been the best starting pitcher in the majors over the last 5 games he started.
Yeah, he has been incredible. He's regularly over 12 fantasy points. He just had a complete game shutout his last outing, right?
That was like 3 games ago.
Was it?
But
Okay.
yeah, he's only allowed 3 runs in his past 5 games started, spanning 40 innings to go along with 45 strikeouts and only 4 walks. So
You're not worried about the Orioles being a pretty good offense, playing pretty well overall?
last time he faced them, he went 7 innings, only allowed 5 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts. So he's got some good history against them.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's all he did.
Yeah, he didn't get to 10 that game, but
All right. What about the other expensive guys on the board? You're interested in any of those guys? Actually, look who is pitching today. It's your boy.
Mad
You
Bum?
mentioned yesterday. Who?
Travis Wood?
No. No. A certain
Robbie Ross?
Yeah, wrong Ross. This Tyson Ross is actually pitching today. He's pitching against St. Louis.
It's not a bad matchup.
St. Louis's
but
offense has just been sad. Although, again, anytime San Diego's pitching against somebody, you have to worry about San Diego hitting.
Yeah, see, I like the other side of that matchup. I like Lance Lynn going up against San Diego, especially pitching at home. He has gotten a little bit more expensive recently. He is almost at $14,000, but San Diego's abysmal, and I think no matter what, he should be able to dominate that team pretty well.
What about Cole Hamels pitching in San Francisco? That's been a place that you can pitch pretty well.
2 great pitching matchups there is Ross and Lynn, and Hamels against Bumgarner.
Bumgarner, because Philadelphia, again, is a team that's terrible, just awful on offense.
I prefer Bumgarner in that matchup.
Do you really?
A little cheaper.
Yep.
Really good matchup.
Phillies are 21st and weighted on base against left-handed pitching.
Well, we can't pick all these big pitchers. You got to find some value. So where are we looking at for some? Don't you say Nick Martinez? I will slap you.
Nope. Duffman.
Okay.
Come on, he's pitching against Minnesota.
I'm not disagreeing.
You started off on your okay.
No,
he goes okay
because he called him Duffman.
Can't
It was a little
breathe.
weird.
Oh no.
Remember when I said Danny Duffy earlier this year?
Yes, I do.
Everybody pooped on me.
Yep, and
now he's
I don't think anybody's ever pooped on you.
I'm on the Duff train.
Yeah. Another guy right there is Marcus Stroman going against the White Sox.
Man,
at
he's been
10,000.
impressive for them.
Very, yes. He's had maybe one dud or 1 or 2, but the other games he's been really good.
Well, and I mean, what is he, like the fourth in their rotation? Third?
Yeah,
Fourth?
he's pushing his way up now.
He really is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he kind of came in around the All-Star break. After that, he's really just solidified his spot.
And we also have Wheeler.
Yeah, how have you not mentioned Wheeler Dealer going up against the Chi-Town Cubs? This game is in New York. I know it's a battle of 2 crappy teams, but
he has been on fire lately.
Especially against bad teams. We said it a million times. He pitches against bad teams. He does really well.
Even against good teams, he's got 8 straight games started, over 6 innings pitched, and 6 out of those 8 games he's only allowed 1 run. And the other 2 were 2 and 3, so he's been great. Cubs are 28th and weighted on base against right-handed pitching.
The Mets are actually looking pretty good for their future.
Yeah, except for Matt Harvey being an idiot and wanting to pitch this season. What are you thinking, Matt Harvey?
Is he actually pitching?
He said he wanted to pitch this season.
Well, maybe he wants to get his rehab going.
No, pitch in a game.
Maybe
not a smart man.
Fall league in Arizona.
All right, coming after the break, we're giving you all of our top plays of the day for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com to make your best team. And you'll listen to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
We are back, and we are still giving away a ton of value on the Star Fantasy League show. We've said it before. We're going to say it again. We do have season-long fantasy leagues on StarFantasyLeagues.com now. You can do mock drafts. You can draft for your season. You can do anything. Play daily games.
Great time of the year to join.
That is true, and it is the best time to join because we have the biggest bonus offer we've ever had Free14 FREE14 is the bonus code. 100% to $2,000 and an $11 cash credit in your account right away.
That is a great, great deal.
That's a huge deal. It's almost as good of a deal as we're going to give you with our top plays of the day. Jason, start us off.
All right, my batter of the day is going to be Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie.
I'm picking a guy against my A's, but he's got a great matchup against Hamill. He's 4 for 5 with a homer against him in his career. He's in his last 10 games, 5 have been multi-hit games, so he's been swinging a nice bat. Pitcher of the day, I'm going to go with Wheeler, Zach Wheeler against the Cubs.
You son of a gun.
Oh, were you going to take Wheeler?
Yes, I was, but go ahead. No big deal.
All right. My value play, once again, is going to be Bryce Harper against...
Hit a dong last night.
Yeah, he hit another home run last night. He's homered 2 out of his past 3 games.
We're not allowed to say dong on this show anymore. It's done.
What?
The word is done.
Why?
Oh, you can only say donger if you're going to say it. Hit a donger. Done. We're done. Go ahead. What's your
Well, the
stat?
Nats were threatening him to go
Send
down to
him
the
down, yeah.
minors,
Yep.
and then after that, he's really turned it around. So.
Yes, he has.
Good threaten the young guy.
Yeah, how about a Royal stack against Ricky Nolasco tonight?
Ricky Nolasco is awful.
His first start since July 6th. In his last 3 games that he started, he gave up 13 runs and 14 innings pitched. So I like the Royals.
Very solid. Well, the other stack of the night I think we all agree on is the Angels. The Angels have a great, great matchup against Nick Martinez.
Wait, so you're not picking against your boy?
What?
Hector's pitching tonight.
I hate him.
No, you are so
We are
scared
not
to pick
friends.
for or against him.
We are not friends.
Pitcher of the day for Nick is Hector Noesi.
Pitcher of the day is Garrett Richards. I love everything about this game from the Angels side. They should be able to put up a ton of runs. And Garrett Richards should be able to shut down this depleted Texas squad. And put in Mike Trout. You could also go Pujols, Cole Calhoun. Even Hamilton's actually been hitting better recently.
Well, Trout hasn't had a hit in his last 10 at bats, so he's due to bust out.
He will not be quiet for that long. Value play, kind of just outside of our value range, but Alcides Escobar against Ricky Nolasco, kind of going along with Jason's Kansas City stack. There's a lot of options out there tonight, but I think those are the 2 that you're going to want to focus on.
All right. Jason stole my pitcher of the day, so I'm going to go with another one of my value-ish guys, Lance Lynn, going up against San Diego. How do you pronounce that?
Really?
San Diego? It's
Really?
Spanish for something. I'm not really sure.
Wales.
Yeah, Wales something. I don't know. Never heard of it before. So I'm going with Lance Lynn against San Diego, and I love the Angels just as much as you guys do tonight. Nick Martinez, there's a reason you're a minimum pitcher on StarFantasyLeagues.com, and you're a chud.
He's always been a minimum pitcher, too. He
know.
has never once gone above the minimum on the entire year.
He hasn't. That's why my batter of the day, you took Mike Trout. I'm staying on this lineup. Let's go with Albert Pujols. Always the potential to hit a home run. The guy's been really good.
You got to look at Josh Hamilton, too.
That's
back
who I
in
have as
Texas.
my value of the day. Josh Hamilton, only 6,000 right now.
But he's a little bit of a stretch for value, I'd say.
6,200 is still value.
It is still pretty good. It's good value. He really has had a rough season, but he's been hitting the bat. He's been doing really well.
Yeah, and he's back in Texas, so
Yep.
he's going to want to prove a little bit
Oh,
there.
yeah.
We didn't even talk about the Reds in Colorado going up against Franklin Morales.
Yeah, that's the Reds.
I like Devin Mesoraco in that matchup.
That
for
is
sure.
true, but he's a little bit of expensive guy for catcher. He's
Yeah.
probably one of the highest catchers out there.
Oh,
right
he's
now.
top
He is.
catcher.
Yeah, he's top catcher.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, if you're tired of the baseball talk, football is coming. On Monday's show, we're breaking down the Green Bay Packers.
Go, Pack, go.
Stop it. And we're sending you off with a 100% bonus to $2,000 if you deposit today on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Use the bonus code FREE14, FREE14, 100% to $2,000 and an $11 cash credit.
John, are you still bitter about that Super Bowl loss?
What Super Bowl loss?
2011.
Oh, we won all the other ones.
Nope.
No, we actually did.
Who has more NFL
Steelers.
championships?
Oh, come on
Oh,
now.
yeah. Who invented the league?
We're bringing
Niners.
this up.
Lombardi.
I am so tired of this. I can't believe you guys bring this up and try to throw me off at the end of the show every day.
Sorry.
All right,
Not
if you, of course you're not. And if you guys love Aaron Rodgers as much as Nick does,
Oh, yeah.
you're probably in jail for stalking.
Cheeseheads.
Take it easy, guys.